How's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining us. We're here at the end of RPG Limit Break 2018, and once again, we've managed to raise $164,364. Excellent. So what's going to happen here is we're going to take a chance to talk to all of our organizers, people who put on the event. But before we do, we want to give a huge shout out to everybody who came to the event and attended. Couldn't have done it without everybody's participation and help here. So give it up for yourselves for sure. Great. So I think I'm going to kick it off to the head organizer, Puixel, who has some words for us.
All right. Well, I've just got a list of people I'd like to thank for helping contribute to this event before handing it off to the next staff member. I'd like to thank Rob Wesseman and Michelle Vaughn, our representatives from NAMI, for just being great partners, great people, and helping support the event in a lot of ways, like especially donating food and drinks to our attendees. I'd like to thank our community artists, Carrie Fry, Jazaboo, aka LLK, and Mega Weasel, for drawing our event logos, banners, sub emotes, and these great badges we have too. I'd like to thank the organizers of our language restreams, Guillaume, who organizes the French restream, and then our friend Hoishin over there, along with Kane Naka, who organized the Japanese restream. I'd like to thank Sinister One, who works with us from Twitch for helping promote the event and also helping us get sponsorship for supporting it this year. I'd like to thank Cool Maddie, Mike Uyama, and other members of the staff of Games Done Quick for giving us a lot of advice on stuff like tech setup and logistics as we kind of work on growing our event. I'd like to thank Orlin and Namix for helping design the gorgeous stream layouts we use. Chris Hannell and Alex Van Camp for open sourcing the code used for the layouts. Let's see, Jay Hobbs, who you heard a lot of the past couple hours during Kingdom Hearts, for designing and maintaining our new RPGLimitBreak.com website. Corndan, who's currently managing the YouTube channel. We'll be having our most of our VODs uploaded relatively soon. Like to thank the Yeti, who, in addition to doing a T-shirt sale, also did pins for the first time this year and donated a pretty generous amount of the proceeds to NAMI, along with our I guess I'm not wearing one right now, but our attendee shirts as well. The staff of the University Guest House and Conference Center. Let's see. I'd like to thank the other members of the Games Committee, El Magus somewhere back there, Dragon Dark, who was here early but had to leave, and the other members for putting in quite a few long hours during our meetings to help make the games list and schedule as great as it is. Let's see. I guess the last thing I'll say then is just everybody that just came to this event too, especially from faraway places. Like we had 4 people come all the way from Japan to the event this year too, which is pretty awesome. Along with places like the UK, Switzerland, Germany. Apologies to anybody I forgot there. And yeah, I won't take up any more of your time, so who wants to go next?
Religion. With some balloons.
Okay, so I tugged on the string of these things and they just came off of their little base, so now they're attached to me. So that's how it is. So once again, I had the privilege of being in charge of working on this crazy tech setup that you guys have barely gotten to see until like just this moment. If you look over here behind Tonic and Poexel, you see this huge labyrinthine set of things over here and the giant pile of cables, and that is a terrifying monster that we have tasked a bunch of our volunteers to deal with this year, and they actually did a fantastic job. I'm super proud of all of our volunteers, but particularly from my perspective, the tech volunteers were incredible. There are so many of them, and I do want to also mention, before I get into more specific thank yous, that we decided to name the mixer because, of course, it's important to name your pieces of equipment, because that is what a normal person definitely does. And so henceforth, since we kind of determined that the mixer was responsible for a lot of confusion and difficulty for everyone who had to deal with it this year as a brand new piece of equipment, and wow, these are annoying. We decided to name the mixer Everhate, so that we may forever blame Everhate for our setup delays. In any case, more specific thank yous. Very much appreciative to everyone who helped with unloading all of the equipment from the SUV that I drove up from Southern California with, which included Elmagus, Jenya, Keishura, Yagamoth, and Fant, all on the first day that I got here. A lot. Good catch. Also, many thanks to everyone who helped on setup day, which is actually just so many people that I couldn't actually name them without omitting someone. Again, huge thanks to people who specially contributed to the tech setup, which includes the Sid. Where the heck? Sid? That one, there. Yeah, behind the camera, doing the camera thing, because that's a large part of what he's been doing, but also just tons of help throughout the week. Also, over here behind Tonic on the left side of the screen there, you see, Leafa's there too. He's cool as well. But I was pointing at Ashton Prime, who has provided a ton of expertise regarding audio setup and other sorts of things to help us out. And finally, our brand new tech staff member this year, Heroic Spirit Gamer, who has been helping every year thus far, is hidden by Tonic, no longer. There he is. And I'm super appreciative to him for the help that he provided this year. Also got to thank my other fellow staff members, Stinger, PA, and Jay Hobbs, who's also hidden from the camera. All you guys are hiding here. This is... Yeah, the disembodied hand there. That was him. Helped a ton. We've been able to do so many things this year that would just not have been possible before, and now we have Everhate here, of course, to join us on our journey into the future. Again, I'll throw out a special, I think I'll just wrap up with a special thank you to my roommate, who is just super incredibly supportive and helpful, and does things like helping load the car to transport all the equipment up here when he could just be like, that's your problem. Leave me alone. I'm eating dinner. But taking a lot of time out of his day to help out with that. So thank you very much, Chris. I really appreciate it. I think that's it for me.
Great. Cool. Thanks.
Just remember, too, that I actually have some remarks from another one of our staff members, Alec47, who is on his way to his flight home right now. He says, "I'm probably either at the airport right now or in the air, depending on how fast people were, but I wanted to make sure my thanks were heard. First, to my fellow staff members for being dedicated and fun to work with, in particular Stinger PA for troubleshooting the volunteer schedule when I was on vacation with my mother just before the event. Also to the volunteers who did a good job and didn't make Stinger's or my life difficult. Also thanks to everyone else, runners, attendees, viewers, donators, and everyone else who helped make this year our most successful yet, not to mention a lot of fun. Last but not least, as somebody who suffers from depression and anxiety and whose life is back on track after several years of stagnation, NAMI's cause is both near and dear to me and vitally important. If you're suffering, or even if you just don't feel right mentally, get help. your life can get better, just like mine has. And that's from Alec47.
Great. So we can open up to any other staff members if you guys want to talk. Go for it.
I'm already on a mic, so whatever. Hi, I'm Prosentia. I wanted to give a huge shout out to all of the volunteers. I'm just hiding over here. Okay. I helped. We had a lot of online volunteers who helped. All of the Twitter staff, or the Twitter volunteers who helped out running the Twitter 24/7. We had some people put in a lot of hours, a lot more than they normally would, and I'm extremely grateful for all the help they did. Also, all of the Twitch and Discord moderators. I feel like activity picked up a little bit this year on Twitch. You know, I saw things happening pretty much all the time, so thank you for keeping things civil. It's still been an enjoyable chat, and I hope that as we continue to grow, we can maintain this atmosphere that we have here. Also, huge shout out to all of the donors, all of the people who watched, even if you weren't able to donate. It makes a huge difference to jump in, to share with your friends what's going on, and to enjoy what's happening here. Honestly, everything helps. So, yeah, I know that there are some people who don't have much money and can't give, and that's completely okay. Do not feel bad about that. Instead, just feel glad that you were able to join some of the happiness that we all experienced. Also, huge shout outs to the rest of the staff for picking up my slack at times. Because I got a little bit stressed out sometimes. No, here's the deal, okay? I'm on some anxiety and depression medication now, and it's the bomb diggity. So if you... No, it's true, okay? It's just so nice that I can talk about it and not really feel like... You know, I'm bearing some deep, dark secret about myself. No, it helps. I would say if you do have anything that you want to go talk to somebody about, please do. Because it will make an enormous difference in your life. Anyways, I think that's it. Next person, please.
Great. Sure.
Hi, I'm Stinger PA. I was one of the people working on the volunteers and coordinate all of them. And much like Alec, I definitely want to issue a huge thanks to every single person here who volunteered. We really could not do this without all the volunteers that we have here. We were finally able this year to put 2 people on tech shifts full time around the clock. That was one of the goals we were looking for this year. And like Vulcan said, they all did a fantastic job. Couldn't run the event without them. Host, donation station, and I want to have a very special thank you to Bob the Ninja Goldfish right over here. He did a fantastic job with being a senior volunteer, coordinating on the host station and the donation station, running the orientations for both of those before the event started. And he was a lifesaver for all sorts of issues that came up behind the scenes. Really, Bob has been a blessing to this event, and I really can't say enough. So, thank you, Bob. And of course, thank you to all of my fellow staff members. This event is a pleasure to run with each and every one of you. And I think that's about it for me.
Great, thanks. Thanks, Stinger. Okay, great. So from here, we're going to talk with some of our local attendees. So first up, I think, is Rizu-kun.
Yeah, local red eye flew 2,000 miles to get here.
Well, they're here.
Yes, I'm on site. Hi, everybody. My name is Rizakun. Been attending, this is my third year attending this event, and I really enjoy this event because it's a cause that's near and dear to my heart. I've been struggling with mental illness for well over a decade now, and have been getting treatment for that mental illness for over a decade, and can speak from my experience that getting that help does tremendously improve your quality of life and just helps with every possible aspect of your life. And a particular message for those of you who have gone through trauma: it's very easy to look upon the things that have happened to you as things that have broken you, and to tell yourself that I'm broken and I need to be fixed. And I found that it's a lot more effective and a lot more nurturing to say instead, not that I am broken and I need to be fixed, but I am wounded and I need to heal. And please value yourself enough to heal yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Casa up next.
Listening to everybody talk about depression and anxiety, I'm sitting up here. I feel a bit cheesy.
A little bit closer.
Sorry. Anyways, not a lot of my friends know, but for a few large parts of my life, I too have dealt with depression, anxiety, and I'm having a little bit of it right now. Thank you. There's one thing I really like to say to people out there. To those who've seeked help before and feel like it hasn't worked, never give up, because you are all valuable people and you all deserve to be happy. I know what it's like to try and find help and feel like I'm stuck in this dark rut where it's like, why isn't it working for me? And you just got to keep going. I recently had lost some family members just before this event, and I had gotten back to that dark place, and speaking with doctors and people like that, getting the help, it helped me actually be able to still come here, because I actually thought about not coming here whatsoever. And thank you very much, Bob. I love you. And at the end of the day, no matter what you think, even if you're with yourself or with other people, you are loved. No matter where you are, be it through an online community or people that are around you right now, we're all here for you. And you deserve everything. Thank you. Sorry.
Thanks, Casa. Great. So we're going to talk to Bob next.
Sit down for this one.
No problem.
Thank you.
Make sure you hold it close.
They don't need me to hold this close. I have a compressor named after me. Stay a while and listen. So it's almost like these finales are becoming a running update on my life, really. So there's two things I want to talk about today. First of all, there is a quote I want to read to you. Once my phone works. And it's by the late, great Terry Pratchett, who says, "If you do not know where you come from, then you do not know where you are. And if you don't know where you are, then you don't know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, you're probably going wrong." Inside the mind of someone who suffers from mental illness like myself and so many other people behind me, it's very easy to get lost. It is very easy to lose sight of where you're from and where you're going. There are those people that know how to get you back on the path. It is not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It is a sign of strength. 3 years ago, I sat in a stream room not too far from here and broke down in the finale because I had been inspired to find the help I needed. And that's where part 2 of this comes in. I'm going to have to face away from the camera for this. To everybody in this room, and everybody who, since what happened to me in January at AGDQ, where halfway through the event my best friend passed away, who has asked me if I am okay, I would like to apologize to each and every one of you, because I have been lying. Because I have told you I am okay. And I am not. But each and every person in this room, each and every person that's reached out to me on Twitter, and each and every person that's in that chat right now, you have been my semicolon. You have kept my sentence going, and you have inspired me to keep telling my story. And I hope it's a good one from here on out. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Up next, we have Chaos.
It's tough to talk after Bob. Hey guys, Kios. It's been a long night. Been a crazy week. Really glad to have shared it with you guys. I'll keep it short. We got some people left us to talk, but the amount of support I've seen from everybody this week, from new faces, old faces, just remember, this isn't just, we don't go home and this ends. Like, these people are your friends. And we'll continue to support you, so never be afraid to ask.
Thanks. We have Jay Moda next. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you hold it close.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jay Moda 16. Most people don't notice, but I also suffer from depression and a lot of anxiety to the point where I was really debating coming here. But because of my mother and my beautiful fiance back in New York, she gave me the courage to come out here and tell my story. I've been suffering with depression since I was like around 14, and it's gotten really, really hard. But because of the love of my friends and my family, and also through the love of speedrunning and all you amazing people I've met, it gives me the strength to go on every single day and try to smile. I want to say thank you to Ghoul and Gedrith for the amazing commentary from my run, to Spike Vegeta for being funny and helping me laugh every day, to all the friends I've made, and to the RPG Limit Break staff for letting me play my most favorite game ever and helping it for such a great cause. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. It's Kaze next.
So I just want to say a few quick words. I want to give a huge thanks to every single RPG Limit Break staff member that started to organize this event. I think we've all seen, especially with the past few words, everybody has said how important of a cause that we're supporting. I want to give a huge thanks to every single person who's watched, donated, shared this event out to everybody. We really are supporting a great cause here. I also want to thank everybody, whether they're in this room, everybody who's come to this event, and the whole RPG speedrunning community for allowing me to be a part of the community, welcoming. This community is so generous, so welcoming. And I am so very thankful to be a part of it, to be a part of this event. And just because last year I feel like I kind of had a little bit of difficulty talking, and it was a little embarrassing. So since I can't do one of these without embarrassing myself, I'm just going to end this with meow meow choco chow.
Yeah. Keisha is up next.
Yeah.
Sure, hold it close.
For everybody who kind of knows me, from RPG Limit Break and in this room and from my own stream, I'm probably going to tell you guys something that most of you don't know and probably kind of aren't expecting. I also suffer from a lot of anxiety, and as of about 2 years ago, some really crippling depression. I've lived in and worked in Japan for 5 years, and mostly been alone. And shortly after RPG Limit Break 2016, I went to work one day and I couldn't function anymore. I started crying and I couldn't stop. And I had no idea what was wrong with me. And the only place I could be and exist that I could stop crying was this man's stream right here. Thank you for, and like a whole bunch of other people in this room as well who stream. Thank you for providing a place for people to be who need, a place to just be distracted. But I just want to remind everybody too that it's never too dark and it's never too far away. In July of 2016, I sat in a hotel room 13 stories up on a sub assignment and was seriously contemplating throwing myself out. So I had decided instead to call up a friend and instead say hi and thank you Big for answering that Skype call. I just want to throw out another couple of thanks to a lot of people who I've met here, and particularly the Moon Bros and the Rip Runners and Puexel back here for being so open and supportive. And if you are suffering and if you have anything inside that you need to talk about, please see somebody, because it's never ever too dark. There's always a light, even if it's far away.
We have mic, please.
How's it going, everybody? My name's Christelson. I just kind of want to make this a little bit shorter than what it might have to be, but just to give a little bit of history for me, I wrestled for 6 years, and as a lot of people know, wrestling is a very mental sport, and just want to tell everybody that for these kind of things to affect this many people, including myself, who has been trained day in each day how to be mentally strong, it's not easy for a lot of people, and I'm just really grateful for a lot of people that I found through a lot of streams and my friends, that there is a lot of help. Because after I graduated, for wrestling, it was my escape for a lot of things that I had going on in my head. Depression being very, very one of those big factors. And after I graduated, I was very lost. I didn't know where to go. I didn't apply for any colleges or anything. I just sat there. And then with the help of a lot of my friends and a lot of other people that I got to meet here today, it's a wonderful thing, because even if you feel like there's not anybody around you physically, there's millions of other people just with kind and generous hearts, and it's just a wonderful thing, especially this cause. Please reach out to people that, if you feel like you're not right in the head, especially coming from somebody who's supposed to be mentally strong. It doesn't discriminate against anybody. It hurts, but healing is a community effort. It's what helps and drives people. For the longest time, especially during my high school days, I just said, take it day by day. If that's what you got to do, then go for it. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ghost King. You've probably seen plenty of me in the last couple of days. So last year, I talked a bit about a friend of mine who's a friend of many people at this event, who, again, it is his birthday. Well, not so much now it's ticked over. A good friend of mine by the name of Wandering Mind, who's actually been a lot of help with me personally. and just, thanks to the community. I want to share a bit of a personal story as well with kind of my ordeals with things like mental illness. Back in 2013 and 2014, I lost both of my parents before I'd even reached the age of 21. And I never really allowed myself to grieve. I felt like the best thing I could do at that point in time was to try and be there for my family, because I feel like being there for others is about the most important thing that I really could do. And it weighed an immense toll on me emotionally. It's actually the hardest thing for me personally has been a lot of times to ask for help from others. But, day in, day out, whenever I'm feeling at my absolute lowest, I try and, convince myself if this is something I can't do alone, I need to ask for help. So if I know many people who battle with mental illness. I actually study psychology, and I'm against all odds. I never thought, I didn't know if I could do it, if I could keep pushing on, and in no small part to this, thanks to this community who's, whether they knew it or not, helped me push through. I've been able to actually meet all my requirements, and I'll be getting my degree and walking in my commencement ceremony in less than a week for my in the field of psychology specifically. Because I felt like studying mental illness was at least something that I had some vested interest in. And so I've had to fight back for many of my own struggles. And the hardest thing for me, and I know for many other people with mental illness, is to ask others for help. And even if you don't know how much they can help, ask a friend, talk to a friend. I've had some very stressful last few months, and there's always been a couple of friends. My good friend Gulo too has constantly been there to speak with me personally, through Discord. Several of my just friends in Discord servers in this community were there for me when I may not have been able to talk to a friend or person online that I care for. So just gonna wrap this up. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for donating. NAMI is a tremendous cause. Even if something you say like what does spreading the word about mental illness do? It does a lot. It helps a lot of people knowing that they are not alone and that they are able to find the resources that they need to get help. So thank you.
Thank you. Great. So thank you, everybody who shared your thoughts. So this is absolutely a sensitive time for all of us, but at the same time, we want to make sure that it's recognized that it's a time of celebration. So we raised $164,364, which equates to roughly 1,867 therapy hours. So we raised money for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and we couldn't be more honored to support them. And we just want to say before we go, a huge thank you to everybody in any capacity. If you shared the event, if you donated, if you were just viewing, if you spread the word, we just want to make sure that it's known that we appreciate you, and our community will be looking to see you guys next year. So with that, I think we'll do our final goodbye. And thanks everybody. Huh? Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, we should host someone, right? Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, we all like hosting people, right? Here's memes are good. Here's a good meme from this year. Parable. All right, cool. So make sure to go type in chat parable a whole bunch of times in Close to War's chat. We will be rating Close to War. He's running Final Fantasy X any percent, which means you got at least like 18 hours of entertainment ahead of you. Look forward to that. Any final thoughts, Tonic?
No, that's it. Sounds good. All right. Final goodbye, everybody. Thanks, everyone.
Terrible.
Bye. Terrible.
going. Keep waving. Yeah. Don't stop waving. That's how they cut the stream. Woo! No, seriously, cut that stream. All right, thanks.
They physically attacked the right one though. And also to pay attention. But yeah, so that way they wouldn't be a delay before attacking the other one. Because I think Kamari would have attacked the other one. Come on, crit. But he would have attacked the other one without waiting.
Alright.